Hello Stampin' friends, it's Ayana Johnston here with another check this out video tutorial to show you. I can't wait to show you how I made this card with a beautiful stamp set and the framelits and thinlits to match. I call this card the Silver Sparkle Teacup card. You can get the supply list for this card on my blog at www.checkthisout.stampinup.net. There are also some great specials going on right now through the end of May. Be sure to check it out. It's for new customers and returning customers. And there's also some new ideas on there as well. Okay, let's get started making this card. To make this card, you're going to need two stamp sets. The first one you're going to need is called a nice Cuppa. And for this, out of this stamp set, we're going to use this lemon and this heart. And it also coordinates with a framelit and die set. It's called Cups and Kettles Framelits. It's a beautiful set. You can get it as a bundle and it's retiring, so I'd hurry up and get this one fast because there are so many cards you can make with it. We're also going to be using the Tin of Cards stamp set. And for the sample one that I just showed you, I used the Happy Birthday, but for one I'm making today, I'm going to use the Thank You. It's very versatile, so you can use it for birthdays, whatever you want. Thank yous, a hello. So today I'm going to make a thank you card with that. For cardstock, you're going to need the following. You're going to need a large sheet of Watermelon Wonder. This is one of my larger cards. So the large sheet of Watermelon Wonder, you're going to want to have that cut at 12 inches, which is already 12 inches long, but you're going to also want to cut it at 6 3/4 inches and score it at 6 inches. Then you're going to need a sheet of Night of Navy, and you're going to want to cut this at 5 3/4 by 6 1/2. Then you're going to need 2 sheets of the Smoky Slate, and this you're going to want to cut both of these sheets at 5 1/2 by 6 1/4 inches. Then you're going to need a sheet of the Designer Series Cherry on Top paper, and I use this pattern for this particular card. You're going to need this sheet of paper cut at 5 1/4 inches by 6. It's already cut at 6, so you only have to cut off 3/4 of an inch. Then you're going to need some scrap pieces of paper. You're going to need a scrap piece of Smoky Slate, Watermelon Wonder, Daffodil Delight, and the Crushed Curry. And you'll see why I have those two different shades of the yellows shortly. The other thing you will also need is just a quick scrap sheet of the Night of Navy as well. Then we're going to use some ribbon in this card. And this ribbon is the silver 5/8 inch satin ribbon. And then this one is Watermelon Wonder, the 1 inch satin ribbon. So it's a beautiful border, and you'll see how we make this all come together. So what I'm going to do first is I'm going to make my teacups. So what I need to do is I need to take my scrap piece of Night of Navy and my framelits, and I need 2 teacups in navy. And we will be good to go with that teacup. Then I need the other teacup with my scrap piece of Watermelon Wonder, and I need to cut out a teacup in this particular framelit. So I'm going to go cut out my teacups, but the other thing I'm going to do is take my scrap sheet of Crushed Curry and another little scrap piece of Night of Navy, and I'm going to go ahead and take the framelit, the heart framelits. And these I'm going to cut out 4 of each color. So 4 Night of Navy and 4 Crushed Curry. So let me go cut all of those pieces out. Okay, so I have my pieces that I cut out, my hearts and my teacup. One other thing I wanted to mention, I didn't cut out all of my teacup just yet. I need one more navy teacup. So with this navy teacup that I'm going to use, what I want to also do is I want to take this squiggly part of my teacup, or the inside little lines, I want to run that through my Big Shot. Then I also want to do, I would like to take my scrappy piece of Smoky Slate and use this nice little kind of squiggly looking M, kind of W, and I want to run that through my Big Shot. And then I also want to take another part of this teacup, just the handle part, and I'm going to run this through my Big Shot. So you'll see how we put all those pieces together here in just a minute, but I'm going to go run those through my Big Shot too. And then we'll be all set with all of the pieces that we need from our framelits. Okay, so now I have all my pieces that I need in order to put my teacups together. So first off, I'm going to go ahead and snip off my handle, and I'm going to use some two-way glue and glue that on the edge here. Next, I want to go ahead and heat emboss. So I want to go ahead and get some Versamark ink that I'm going to need for this. And then I'm also going to head and I'm going to get a scrap piece of smoky slate. And I'm going to snip around the edges here so I know that it fits right underneath my teacup. So it gives me the background gray look. And then I'm going to use some Versamark ink and I'm going to sprinkle some silver embossing powder on this one and then on this one. And then I'm also going to stamp "Thank you" with the Versamark ink on here. And then I'm going to sprinkle it with silver embossing powder. So again, I'm going to take my scrap piece that's going to fit underneath here and I'm going to put Versamark ink all over it so that way I can get my nice silver sparkle look. I'm going to do that with that one and I'm also going to do it with this squiggly. I'm going to make sure I get it nice and marked up. And then I'm going to do it with my "Thank you." I'm going to use the piercing mat for this. Next, I'm going to go heat emboss these pieces. Okay, now I have all my heat emboss pieces. Now we're going to do one last thing where I take the Daffodil Delight with my piercing mat and I'm going to just stamp using Daffodil Delight. I'm going to stamp on a piece of yellow Daffodil Delight paper, my lemon, and I'm going to cut it out. Next, I'm going to just make a nice little slit in the lemon piece so that way I can put it right on my teacup at an angle. And what I use is a glue dot to kind of adhere it temporarily until I'm ready to put it on my card. I'm also going to glue this underneath my teacup, and I'm going to glue this on my teacup with some Monotumbo liquid glue. Now I'm ready to start adhering this all to my card. I'm going to first work with my card base, and I'm going to adhere the Night of Navy and the Smoky Slate. And for this video, I'm going to use Fast Fuse since it's bigger and a little bit of a heavier card. And I learned that as I go down, and if I just use a check mark or an S, the Fast Fuse comes off very quick and easy. Thank you for that tip by one of my watchers. So much appreciated. Next, I'm going to take the designer series paper and I want to adhere my ribbon on just about 1/4 of an inch from the top. I just eye it, and what I normally do is put some fast fuse on the back, and then I'd adhere it on and I flip it over and adhere it on. So you'll see me doing that, and then I'm going to put a layer of the silver on top of that. Okay, now once I have that, you kind of have to realign it sometimes if it doesn't come out just the way you want it. So then I'm going to go ahead and adhere a lot of fast fuse on the back of this. So that way it holds down the ribbon and the card. Next, I'm going to just start adhering my teacups and the hearts. And I just kind of angle both of them, just to either side. Just tilt them to the left or to the right, and one's more at the bottom, one's more at the other's at the top. I use 2A glue for this, and then I use Stampin' Dimensionals for the thank you. Now for the Stampin' Dimensionals, make sure you get part of it on the lemon, so that way the lemon stays right where you want it. Next, I'm going to adhere my hearts with some mono tumble glue, which seems to work well on the ribbon. So you see how I'm getting the mono tumble glue? I just go on little bits at a time, and then I adhere it. And then last, I adhere my rhinestones. I need 7 for across my teacup, and then I'm going to go ahead and place the rhinestones right in the center of my hearts. And there you go. And for those of you that like to do the inside of your card, I took the other sheet of smoky slate and I just stamped in the top and the bottom with the lemon and the heart, and it just came out beautiful. So I would thank you and a happy birthday. So I hope you enjoyed watching this video. Be sure to stop by my blog for some more great ideas, and don't forget about that customer order special going on now through the end of May. Happy stampin'!